annual broadcast boot camp for former players. There's our friend Ahman Green. There's Ryan Hogue. This is brought to you by NFL Player Engagement. And no, Dan Hellie has not switched to ESPN. That's just the set they had in Mount Laurel. And here is Ahman Green joining us live here on Up to the Minute. He is part of that boot camp. Ahman, thanks for being here. What's the number one? What's the number one thing that the stylish Dan Hellie taught you?
Number one thing, just kind of what you said off camera, be myself. Just go out here, learn, and just at the end of the day, just be myself on camera.
We have a couple of guys, Ahman, high-profile guys, that are going directly from the field to the booth, in Jay Cutler and Tony Romo. Which one of those two are you most interested in hearing from come September?
It's got to be my old cohort, Jay Cutler, because he was always a player that his body language was kind of throwing people off and didn't say a whole lot in the media, but the last couple of years he would say some oddball stuff to get everybody kind of riled up. So now this is going to be his job to say what he wants to say. So I'm very excited and very interested to see how he's going to set his opinion before every game.
You think he's going to be the same kind of snarky, opinionated guy that he can be in private? Do you think he's going to be that guy on the air?
I believe he's going to be that guy that puts it out front and makes his points. I believe he's going to be very opinionated.
Well, let's give you a chance to make a point here. Ahman, when you last played in the NFL, you were 32 years old. We all know about running backs. People think you get to 30 and the wheels fall off, you're done. Adrian Peterson's going to be 32. Jamal Charles is going to be 30. Marshawn just came back. He's going to be 31. Ahman, which of those three do you think has the most left in the tank?
Of them three, I believe Marshawn Lynch has the most in the tank. Granted, he had the year off, but a guy who has the physical ability to play 4 quarters, not saying the other two guys don't, but a guy who is basically like a battering ram. He's physical throughout the game. He throws out stiff forms like we see there. So he's a guy that no matter what the part of the game, and he does everything a running back is supposed to do, but for 4 quarters, fourth quarter, he's going to run the ball like it's the first quarter. So having Marshawn Lynch on that Oakland squad, as we know, once David Carr went down, his brother went down, they didn't have a run game or they didn't have a pass game. Things weren't equal out for the Raiders. Just having him now equals out that offense to prepare them for a possible another AFC run.
And make them so much better in the red zone as well. By the way, great job there referring to the monitor. You saw the stiff arm. You pointed it out. That's a good way to communicate there. Here's my thing, though, about Marshawn. Do you think he's going to be rusty? Because some people say, well, oh, yeah, he's fresh. He hasn't been hit in a year. But the flip side of that is, well, you haven't been hit in a year either. There's a downside to that, too, isn't there?
It's a little bit, but he is an aged veteran. And just like aged veteran, like myself, I would use the opportunity in training camp and preseason games to bring the hit to the defense. So he's a type of guy. He will bring the hit, the pain to the linebacker right away, early in the game, early in practice. So I feel sorry for possibly Khalil Mack or anybody on that Oakland defense when Marshawn gets the ball, when it's the first physical contact, one-on-one offense versus defense drill. Be ready for a big explosion.
Is there a little part of you admitted that's offended that they think they could play a wide receiver at running back for a full season?
No. I say I'm an optimist. I say I'm agreeable, and I look at football as if you could play anywhere on the field, do it. And they had to do that with Ty last year, and I'm tipping my hat to him, and I just let him know, last year when he started running the ball, say, hey, you're going to have to drop that shoulder a little bit more and make sure you keep that ball high and tight running up the middle.
Exactly. I mean, a wide receiver, running back, it's just a label. We don't like to label people. He played good football last year and likely will again this year. Ahman, it's great to have you on. Glad you're doing the 11th Annual Broadcast Boot Camp brought to you by the NFL Player Engagement Program. Good luck, and I hope Dan Hellie taught you everything.
Dan was good. Thank you, Andrew, for having me.
You got it.